Well, for me, what ends up happening is I think about projects I'm going to work on, and so I got to think a little down the road. Once I come up with that idea as to what I'm going to build and when, then I start to stockpile the lumber. I also look at the size of the logs I have. If we have a look at some of these logs, there's sort of a mixed diameter here. You guys can see this one's on the bigger side, this one's on the bigger side, and I'm not talking bigger in general, I mean bigger for this pile. These are smaller, that's bigger, smaller, etc., etc. I have a look at those, and what I do is I decide, okay, the bigger stuff I'm going to use to make the biggest material I need for that project that's coming down the road. For me, typically I use 2x8s, 2x6s, probably 2x6s a lot more than 2x8s. So I will make 2x6s, as many as I can, out of the big material, and then the small material, which obviously I'm not going to get a 2x6 out of that, I'll use to make all the other material. Whether that's going to be, you know, 1x material for strapping, or maybe I'll even run a few 2x4s out of that, or maybe if I only get one 4x4 out of that, well, that's one more 4x4 than I had before I cut it. That's how I come up with what I'm going to cut. I think about the projects down the road, and I try to stockpile the lumber. And as Coda, well, I guess he's not going to tell us, but as I was about to say, when I think about the projects, I think about the material I need, but I also think about the material I'm using. This stuff here, this is a conifer, these are balsam fir. This would not be something that I would use to make fine furniture. You probably could, but for me, I don't have fine furniture projects coming down the pipe, and B, well, I'd much rather use this material for making structural members like 2x material, 4x4s, etc. If I have oak here, or walnut, or cherry, I'm probably not going to make any type of structural lumber with it, because I have all type of pine around me. I've got some firs, I've got some spruces. Those are what I'll use for my structural members, things I'll build buildings with, like you guys can see behind you. Stuff like the hardwoods, which I don't have a heck of a lot of, I tend to save those for nice fine furniture projects. Many of you who don't have many conifers like I do, you may think otherwise, but at least that's my thinking. Keep the nice material, and when I say nice, I'm talking the beautiful cherry, the walnut, stuff like that. Maybe even some oak and maybe some bird's eye maple. Keep all that stuff for fine furniture, in my opinion, and use this stuff for structural stuff like what you see behind you. Another thing I'm going to mention to you guys, when I'm looking at a log, I can pretty much predict what size lumber I'm going to get out of it. You may not be able to do that if you're brand new to sawing. What I do is I tend to grab my tape measure, and let's see if I can find it here. I grab my tape measure and I go to the small end of the log. So if we have a look here, this is the small end of this relatively long log here. I cut this with the chainsaw from a bigger tree, obviously. I cut this about a foot, 6 inches on each side, too long for my finished length. I want a finished 12-foot piece of lumber out of this. So I'm probably, when I'm cutting it with my chainsaw, going to cut it somewhere around 12 feet, maybe 8 inches to 12 feet, or 13 feet rather. So that gives me a little bit of extra on each side. So what I do is I take ooh, holy gosh. You guys hear that? What the heck was that? I almost got smoked by a big snowball. You guys, around here, the snow sticks up in the trees, and when it gets nice like today and a little bit of wind, it knocks it out. That one nearly clubbed me. Okay, we're safe. As I was saying, you take your tape measure on the smallest end of the log here, and you can pretty much hold it up to get the diameter. This one is 9-inch diameter, give or take. What I do with that number is I then try to predict what type of a square this would create. And once I figure out what that shape of that square is going to be, or what the size of that square is going to be, and if you guys can imagine, I hold my tape near the top here. I just about imagine cutting off a little bit for the one side, cutting off a little bit here, cutting off a little bit there, and cutting off a little bit there to create my square. I can pretty much guesstimate that I will be able to create a 6-inch by 6-inch square. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Definitely when I'm figuring out what material I'm going to get out of this, I try to visualize that square. If I can get 6 by 6 by 6, perfect. I know I can get, well, 6-inch material out of that. If I can get 8 by 8 by 8, well, I can get 8-inch material out of that. And that's keeping in mind the fact that I tend to saw full dimension lumber. I don't tend to go with the lumber store dimensions, which are 6-inch piece would be 5.5 inches. I go with a 6-inch piece being 6 inches, okay? That's how I figure out what I'm going to cut out of what. Now, some of you guys out there might, instead of doing what I do, you might end up just slabbing the entire log. And so what that means is, instead of visualizing what square you can get out of what particular log and then cutting what we call a cant, a four-sided cut piece, you end up just slabbing the whole thing, meaning you put a log like this up on the sawmill and you just go through it. And let's say you're going to make 2x6s out of this. You just set the depth to come down by 2 inches each time. And then you go back after and you take the slabs you've cut and you cut the edges off. You may decide to do that. Here's the reason I don't tend to do that. It's because then I'm handling those slabs more than once. When I put that log up here on the sawmill, I only want to handle it one more time, and that is taking off the waste and taking off the finished product. If I were to cut this into slabs, I'm going to be handling it once, but then I'm going to be handling the first slab, which will probably be waste, and throwing it there. That's fine. But then I'm going to be handling the second slab, which will become a piece of lumber, and moving it over here while I cut the rest of the slabs. Then I have to move each slab back over here to finish cutting the edges. That's not ideal in my situation. That's too much work. So I put the log on there. I cut all 4 sides off it. You guys will see this in a minute. Once all 4 sides are off it, I get rid of them, throw them over here in the waste. Then I have a leftover rectangular cant, or square shaped cant. I then end up using that to cut my finished lumber. It then takes one trip across my boardwalk, piled up, and then that's it. I don't have to keep going back and forth. So that's why I don't do slabs. I tend to make a cant, and then I make my finished product.